Hi guys, it's Nikki with Nikki Speaks, and I am back with another video. We'll be getting into Tasha K, Offset, and their bond that was used to set up Cardi B, allegedly. We'll also be talking about Lil Baby and his affiliation to the shooting of NFL star Keion White. But before we do any of that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, guys, I am not going to hold you because, yes, there is a mess. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump right into this Tasha K and Offset mess. So the people have been saying for the longest that Offset is working with bloggers behind the scenes to defame Cardi or just to ride her wave. And I, for one, was in agreement with that. But listen, Tasha K is not helping to diffuse that theory at all, okay? I don't know what Tasha K is on. All I know is that she must have balls the size of Texas, okay? As big as Texas. Because this lady takes to her Twitter page and she posts this. Me and Seth locked in for life. Love you, brother-in-law. And then she proceeds to post their DMs, pretty much letting us know that you and him are cool and you guys have been in communication for some time. And so what she was doing was actually welcoming him back to social media, because if you guys recall, he deactivated his page when him and Finesse two times were into it, and he has not been on Instagram or Twitter since. Well, after everything went down with the Super Bowl, Cardi B and Stefan, I guess he felt it was safe enough to return, and he did return to Instagram, and this was her message to him. Now, listen, this says a lot to me, guys. It says a heck of a lot. It says a lot to me about Tasha K, but then it also says a lot about Offset. And I really want to hear your opinions on this. So, if we go back to the time where Tasha K was defaming Cardi B, and we can use the word defaming because that held up in court and she lost. When we go back to that time, it wasn't just Cardi B that she was speaking on. Yes, she said Cardi B was nasty. Yes, she said Cardi B had STDs, but she was also bringing into the mix their child, Offset and Cardi B's child, their very first one, Culture at the time. She mentioned that Cardi B had passed on STDs to Culture. So for him to be in cahoots or even to be cordial with somebody like this, it speaks volumes. Now, I know a lot of people were in the comment section of my prior video because I made the statement that Offset does not really care about his kids. He cares more about getting even with Cardi than he does any of his kids, in my opinion. And this is one of the reasons why I think that way. There are several instances I can go through that I won't, but that's just my opinion. It has nothing to do with bias. It's just an observation. And this is a huge one. But you guys let me know what you think down in the comment section. Do you think that Offset is well within his rights because him and Cardi B are not on good terms? Do you think it's okay for him to collude with her ops, or it should be their ops? Or do you think that it's a stretch to even think that as a man that he should even be concerned with quote unquote women's business when it comes to Tasha K defaming Cardi and their child on social media? Now, there is another side to this. So, at the beginning of this video, I mentioned Tasha K has to have balls the size of Texas. And the reason why I said that is because did she not just lose a $4 million lawsuit in which she is really not allowed to use her platform to try to defame Cardi B or anybody attached to her? Now, with that being said, there's also pending litigation against Offset because there is some sort of protective order in place against him. And then you also have the divorce that's being drawn out, and they still have not gone to court for that. So I feel as though this can be used for both of those instances against them, but in favor of Cardi B. But listen, I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about it down in the comment section. I just thought it was crazy that she posted this, considering it could be used against them. But hey, who knows? But we're going to go ahead and jump right into the next topic. So, y'all, let's get into this. So, there were reports circulating on yesterday that Keion White, who is a defensive end for the 49ers, it was being reported that he was shot. Well, later that day, it came out that it was non life threatening and it was a shot to his ankle. Now, let's fast forward today, and reports are saying that Lil Baby and his entourage could be the cause of that. So, according to sources, they're saying that the incident occurred at Dahlia's. It's a bar and nightclub in on Mission Street in San Francisco. And so, if you guys recall, that's where the Super Bowl was held. So, it sounds like this was a Super Bowl party. Well, White had a private party in the downstairs area of the facility. Lil Baby and his entourage tried to enter White's private event. Why? I don't know. But at that point, White and Lil Baby got into an argument. A witness told police that he went upstairs to get assistance from management in order to defuse the situation. At that point, the witness heard two gunshots. When he returned to the downstairs event, White had been shot in the left leg, and police found a 9 millimeter shell casing. Now, listen, this is crazy because not only is this man's livelihood tied to his feet, to his legs, to his ankles, to everything that they shot, but why are you, Lil Baby, and your crew shooting? I will never understand the idea of celebrities who make it still turning back around and digging into their old lifestyle. I will never understand that. And I understand, you know what? We came from the streets. We're never going to forget that. But at some point, this is crazy. You are, Lil Baby, being tied to possibly shooting, or your entourage possibly shooting an NFL player is bananas. So listen, these NFL stars are going to have to stay away from these rappers because at this point, look, they are aiming, when they get mad at you, they are going for your livelihood, okay? They are trying to take you out of the game. You have Offset that threatened to shoot Stephon Diggs in the knee. Now you have Lil Baby and his crew shooting this man in the ankle. That was very targeted. If they wanted to shoot him, they could have shot him anywhere else. If he was, let's say, a quarterback, I'm sure they would have aimed for his shoulder. But because he's a defensive end, let me go ahead and get these ankles. And they aimed for that man's ankle. And that's just crazy. Very targeted. But listen, that's just my opinion. And my opinion is solely based off of the witness statement that was released by police. So keep in mind that this could all not even be the case. It could be something else entirely. Lil Baby and his crew, it could be that they had nothing to do with this shooting. I hope not. I really hope not. I also hope that the NFL player, I hope that he has an amazing surgery where, he has a really great turnaround because he did have emergency surgery after the shooting. Again, this is this man's livelihood, okay? So, best wishes to both of them. But I just think the whole situation in itself is crazy. I mean, it's not that Lil Baby is new to any of this. He's done time. His entourage was accused of stripping Offset, if you recall, in a parking lot, a club parking lot back in, I think, 2021 is when that took place. So supposedly they stripped him of his chain, stripped him of his clothes in the parking lot, and they were about to actually shoot him until Lil Baby came up and stopped it. Now that's what the people said back then. Lil Baby did deny it when asked, but of course you can't admit in an interview that yes, I was responsible or my crew was responsible for attempted murder. That wouldn't be smart. But strong sources, reliable sources are saying that this happened. I'll also attach that video at the end for you guys to take a look at that. But you guys let me know what you think about all of this down in the comment section, and I'll talk to you guys on the next video.
They doing? They riding in? They're taking these jeep. Niggas wild. Baby. Look, Lil Baby.